Hello, this video is for the purpose of how to prepare an MLS data form. In order for the property to be put up for sale on the multiple listing service called MLS, all realtors have to fill out this form. Depending on the type of property it is and whether it's for sale or for lease, it will vary. To get the form, of course, we have to go to our web forms to get the most recent version of it. Let's say we're going with a freehold house. It would be Form 290 unless you want to actually scroll down on it. But if you have the code, it will actually give it for you, which is the MLS data form for freehold homes. You click on Edit, and you click on Edit again. It will populate the form that you will need to be filling, where it has all the sections that are in pink and highlighted. So you're basically, again, filling in most of the boxes. The best thing to do is to download it, and the version that will be editable, so that you could fill it out and save it. It will take a few moments until it actually does download for you. Once the form is downloaded, you will be having a clear picture of the sections that need to be filled. Now, most of this information you will be finding on the tax bill, which is important for you to have this. For example, the roll number, municipality, area. A lot of them you will be able to find from TREB, from Toronto MLS. You can get a lot of it from Googling it as well, and also familiarizing yourself with the neighborhoods and areas. You basically have to be filling out all the sections that have the highlighted and basically filling in the blanks. So the information for the roll will be in the tax bill, the area. Suppose we're going with a property in the York region district. So let's say it's a property in the York region, which will have municipality of Richmond Hill. So you put York, you put Richmond Hill, community will be Mill Pond. I won't bother filling in all, but that's basically what you're looking at. And it's very simple to be able to find these because there is a TREB map as well, which can identify where the properties are, or you can even do searches of other properties, which will identify when you're doing a search on MLS where the properties are located and what communities they are. Of course, the street name, abbreviation, whether it's an avenue or drive, what it may be. The postal code, these are very important to enter them, fronting on which side of the street. The legal description, this of course will definitely be in the tax bill or in the land registry, which you also have access to. The lot frontage, you would have to make sure that you do get the correct information. If you have the survey, it can be helpful. I believe this is also on the tax bill as well. The lot size code, whether it's feet, and it's usually identified in feet. The rest of the stuff, if there is any lot irregularities, which will be identified if you have the survey, it is helpful, although nowadays survey is not something that is a very mandatory document that is required. If there is any special items that need to be entered here, you can certainly put it here, but it's not a mandatory field, so you can just focus on the ones. Of course, it's better to give more information, but the ones that are mandatory is what you should be focusing on. The direction and main crossroads, so you could put, for example, it could be anything Yonge and Elgin Mills, Bathurst and Elgin Mills, and you just simply put that because this is going to be going on Toronto MLS. I will not be going into, and then the map, it will actually auto-populate. Even if you don't put it here, once you put it on MLS, it will actually identify it for you. This is a very important part. You have to be very careful how you enter this, that you make sure this is the list price. It is not the price that it will be sold or agreed on. Sometimes you might, depending on how you do your CMAs, but this is your list price. This is the property taxes. Now, this is also a very important section of the MLS data form. Property taxes are crucial. You must put the correct taxes and you must put it, you cannot leave it blank. Before, realtors used to put it blank, put zero amounts. Now, you can actually be fined if you don't put the actual taxes. So you put the taxes and which year it is. So if, let's say you're in the beginning of the year, you don't have the exact, you can of course put the prior year's information there. This is the contract date. Of course, this is also going the same as your listing agreement, which is another video that we have, but it both have to match. So your contract date, commencement date, and expiry. Keep in mind that TRAP has a minimum of 60 days. It does not allow you to list a property for less than 60 days. Possession date, it could be immediate depending on how soon they want to close, or usually you can put it to be determined, TBD. You can put an abbreviation, or if it's a specific date that they want the closing to be. Holdover days is the same thing as in the listing agreement. Suppose the listing has expired or suspended or terminated. Holdover period is, it could be 60, 90 days, depending how much it is on the listing agreement. So if the property sells after this listing is terminated or canceled, the realtor listing broker still gets entitled to the commission. This is the seller's information. Be very careful that you spell it correct. You can again get it from land registry or from the tax bill or verify ID. Sometimes they do make mistakes on even land registry, or because sometimes the lawyers are in a rush, they have spelling errors. So you just try to make sure with the driver's license to get the correct spelling. All this information is very crucial. What you're putting, you are responsible for this information, so you have to ensure that it is accurate. Here is the type of property, depending what it is, a detached home, whatever it is, you click what type of style it is. It's a 2-story home, has a brick exterior, all this information. And then the sellers have to initial, depending if there's more than 2 sellers, everyone has to initial again on this form as well. Here again, how many garages there are and how many spots there are in each one of them, the driveway and so on. So you're basically, if there is a special designation, you would have to put everything in here. You can get most of this information from the sellers, which is important for you to communicate with them and ensure, but you also have to verify it yourself. If there is a swimming pool, and so on. Now this part, when it comes to the interior part, this is the total number of rooms. This means the living room, dining room, as well as the bedrooms. This is total number of rooms. The plus sign is for the it's for the basement. So let's say there's 10 rooms in this property that I'm looking at, and there's actually 3 rooms in the basement. So it could be 1 living room and 2 bedrooms. So this is what it would actually look like. And then if you're once you're looking at the actual bedrooms, you can put, for example, 5 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms in the basement. There could be 1 kitchen upstairs and 1 kitchen downstairs. That's the way it looks, as well as washrooms. So you have to identify what type of, how many pieces there are and how many of them and which level. This could be on the main level. They do have special codes, which is on the last page of the MLS data form. I'll show you later. But this is where you put, for example, main floor, or there could be the code. Let's say there's 2 times 4 pieces. And you say what level there are and how many there are here. This is the family room, whether there is a family room or not, as well as the basement. It's very important for you to pay attention to this, what type of finished basement it is. Is it partial? Is it half? Is it full? You have to make sure. It's important if it's a walkout or a walk up for you to put the correct information, as well as fireplace, heat source, and so on. Room details, you want to put it as accurate as possible. So for example, if it's a bungalow, or if it's a condo, it would be flat. Or if it's the ground floor you're looking at, this would be the room, for example. This is the living room. So you can put it in order, and the size of the room, for example, it could be 5.65 square feet by 3.95 square feet. The living room, if it has, let's say, laminate flooring or hardwood flooring, you would put it here. Or if it's combined with dining, you would enter that information here. Anything extra, if you have descriptions, you have the options of 3 different columns. Here you put, again, you would be looking at ground. So let's say you're putting, now it's dining room. And similar to that, whatever the size is. Keep in mind that it is very important for you to have accurate measurement. You are responsible for the information you enter on these forms and what goes on the system on MLS. It doesn't mean that you would be going and getting the information from previous listings. It is your responsibility to ensure that this information is correct. If for the bedrooms, they would be on the 2nd floor, you can put that, for example, master bedroom. Or another one would be, for example, just another bedroom. And you put laminate flooring. Anything like that, or there's an ensuite here. So as much detail as possible you would put here, but again, very important that the measurements are correct. Some agents actually just put saying seller, and the listing agent does not guarantee that's the accuracy of the information. That doesn't save you from this situation. You are responsible to provide accurate information. Here is remarks for clients. So this is where on MLS, everyone as the public gets to see it. So put anything, for example, location, 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 anything neat that you want to say about the property that you want everyone to know about. This is important. These are extras. For example, stainless steel appliances. So all of that information goes here. So both of these sections are going to be seen by the public. The last part, this is where it's just for brokerages. So all this information is if there's any comments that you want to put for the cooperating brokerage realtors, you can actually put here. This is where the brokerage information goes, listing brokerage, your name, your office phone number, office fax. You can put your cell phone here. This is where you put the cooperating brokerage's commission. So you put 2.5% plus HSC with thanks. SPIS, if you're able to provide it, permission to advertise, you're basically just putting all this information, you're filling in the blank, and the last part is where the each seller has to sign and date it. This is basically the conclusion for how to prepare a listing agreement. Hope you found this session helpful. Wishing you all the best and good luck. Bye-bye.